What's up, guys? Excalibur here. Just wanted to do overview of today and take a look at Bookmap and see what I saw at 4100 and that short covering. So I'm teaching this in a Discord right now, so it's a little, I'm just recording the video, so hope you guys can enjoy. All right, so going into today, pretty much I do the same thing pretty much every morning. We're gonna look at what our fix this. I'm gonna look at yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, overnight highs, overnight lows. It's pretty much straightforward, simple setup. Try to erase a few of these things. So yesterday's highs. Yesterday's lows. Bring it closer time frame. Look at the overnight highs. Look at overnight lows. Yeah, today's Tuesday, so yeah, Monday. So whatnot. Overnight highs Monday were right here. Overnight lows, we opened up, hit overnight lows right away. So I have overnight lows right here. And I always do it, kind of the overnight mid. So I'll take the kind of just fit it and then look at what the 0.5 is. 0.5 is going to be 41.2350. So we're pretty much setting up our, our key levels. Going to look at the volume profile, see where yesterday's POC was, see where our weekly POC is currently, and then look at where we're at monthly or previous months. So go to the day right here. Disregarding this one, we have kind of 2-3 POC here. Last week POC also lined up with Friday's POC, which also lines up with, I think, the current monthly POC. So I had all these lined up, and then yesterday, pretty straightforward into our highs and lows. We're just watching, are we able to break this, basically just break up and accept this price again, or are we going to break low and head back down into this pre-FOMC price? So that's why I'm doing these overnight highs, overnight lows, yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows. The main thing right here is, are we going to break over yesterday's highs, overnight highs, and accept more buyers? It's not good that, all the buyers come up here. We have to accept buyers as we go up. If we reach, 4,200, are we going to accept more buyers up here? If not, sellers kind of gain traction and bring it right back down. So as we look on the daily, look on the weekly. Weekly, pretty much, it's just 2 days. It was pretty much, just yesterday. So I don't really no point looking at weekly. And then look at the monthly. Monthly was basically same spot. So a lot of price action is happening around. It's 41.24. If you guys see any of my alert today, something very, very, very big happened at 41.24. So it's just interesting that all this price action, that big event happened for all this price actions. So pretty simple. we opened up, drop it to the 1 minute just to go over what we're doing. And what I like to do is we kind of open up towards overnight lows. It just makes sense for the market to take it to overnight lows. It's just like the most, not power, but most energy needed just to go ahead and knock those overnight lows. We have like a 95% chance of hitting those overnight lows. So we opened up, overnight low was right here at 4110.5. We had a huge liquidity alerted yesterday, tweeted about it at 4110. Just something happening there. We came down yesterday, and then that person pushed it up. So we were, I think, about 500 lots just sitting there. So definitely a key level. A lot of volume going in there. Someone stop losses, take profits, shorts, longs. Not sure what it was, but it's just what I always message in the morning is a POI, a price of interest. So you always want to keep that up there as a high quality price of interest. So of course we opened up right here. What I do is always take your RTH open. You'll see on some good days, some bad days, we'll have rejections of the RTH open. If you're in the voice VC with me, you'll hear me say, can't really go long until we break over RTH open. So I take this over, price, it's gonna be sold off. You can tell we could have taken decent shorts off that open. If we have a sell off at open, we come up at that open price, of course they're gonna sell it again. So it makes sense. We could have caught like a little quick scalp here, but basically just I use it as another price of interest. So a lot of chop today, nothing special. What we do at 10:30 is I take the initial balance high to low, which is going to be your first hour high to low. First hour candle is going to be one of your most highest volume of the day. So I always take the high to low. This also gives me great prices, of just important prices. And it adds to my strategy. So overnight lows taken out right at open, overnight lows, overnight lid, that statistic is taken out. That's 98%. If they take out overnight lows, are they going to come up and take out overnight highs? Yesterday, chop day, what'd they do? They took out the IB high, the IB low. They took out overnight lows, but overnight highs was pretty far away, so they did not reach that one. They actually took it out today with that gap fill on ES from that gap down on Sunday. So we had, 10:30. This just sets me up with these plays. Just sets me up from here. What I'm really looking for is just kind of what do we do this first hour? What are we looking at just this first hour? Try to pinpoint just this first hour. Like, what are we doing? Pretty much, we had a nice drop, came up, and what is this? Kind of we're kind of flagging. What I call a flag. I don't know what people call it. Downtrend. Just kind of watching this form. So my long, I alerted, I think, at a 10:11 right here. But I wanted to you said that overnight lows was a support, and I thought we'd break up and hold it as a resistance. So we did here. Wish I could really look on what time. Kind of went red. I took profit here. I got stopped out. I stepped out of break even. We came a little red, and then we shut up after that. But overall, that first half hour, I personally don't like getting into plays. Kind of let the market do itself, especially lately. That first hour. Yesterday was like, what direction are we going? We don't know. First hour today, pretty simple. What direction are we going? We don't know. So just wait for this breakout. What I like to do with this IB, the initial balance, if we're going to have a balanced day, we'll be pretty much in this area. Yesterday, we stayed in this area. If we did break above it, I want to see a kind of a breakup, a retest, and a continuation up. That's going to be my trend. That's going to be my trend day. If we break below, kind of the same thing. Are we going to be able to hold that initial balance and continue lower? If not, we're most likely just going to mean revert back to the middle, and then the market could do whatever it wants from there. Yesterday, that's what it was. It was just back and forth, back and forth. So what I like to do is kind of take outside in kind of plays, and then the continuation to the other side. Most of the time, if you're looking at market profile, if you go, if it's a balanced market profile, usually if we take out one side of the balance, the market's going to reverse and take out that other side of the balance. It's just going to kind of go back and forth, kind of just range. So from here, what I'm looking at is kind of, let's see if we could maybe stop loss that overnight lows. I kind of had bias going into Powell. We, more times than not, we kind of push into any Powell event. You'll see FOMC. We kind of have like a little push into FOMC. Any speech he has, we kind of have just like a little push going into that speech. So overall, I had like a little bias that I would like to see yesterday low wick, possibly see them break this in the initial balance, bring it up to the mid, take out the highs, start heading up to that 1.6 POC. That was my overall play with that. But this 4113 price action was just strange overall. So I just stopped out on my long break even, which ended up being a pretty solid day. So let's just go to the 5 minute and kind of just watch and see what happens from here. So right here we have, what I like to see is kind of a hold of this initial balance and then push up. So, that's just showing me overall chop. But, we did have a nice break above the high, kind of retested it, broke a little bit below. My stop loss probably, if I would have taken this play, probably would have been this pivot high at 4016.75. So, this is just showing me a trend day. We have our push up outside the initial balance. We're able to break overnight mid. We're able to break 1.6 POC, which was yesterday. And we should, from there, if we want to keep our trend up, do your overall trend. We're trending up. Until this is broken, until we make a lower low, our trend is up. Just on the 5 minute. So you can tell, boom, took out overnight highs. So, so far within the first, well, that's with Powell. Yeah, Powell at 1240. He took out those nice push up. Didn't know which way he was going. I think I was short going into it, but I saw us pushing, so I went ahead and flipped long, made a pretty penny there. So basically when he talked, we took out everything. We basically overnight our IB low. Well, actually IB low was not taken out. The highs, overnight lows, overnight highs. So we're heading up to that yesterday high, last week POC. And then kind of on the bigger picture, what I was looking at, let's go ahead and turn this off. I was telling people, are we, the bigger picture, we have a nice strong move up. We'll consolidate down, and then we'll have another strong move up, kind of just what we did here. Here's your nice, decent move up. You're consolidated down, strong move up. This is our kind of our bear market rally, new bull market, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just play the trend. Here's your strong move up here, or consolidate down. Strong move up, consolidate down. You'll see this on anything. The video is a really good thing to watch this. So, I was looking for, from here, are we going to break this downtrend and continue up? Or if this is a high, are we going to go back into the pre-FOMC? So since Powell pretty much pushed the market up, coming down here seems kind of tough. But, pretty much we chopped, possibly starting to make another move up. That Powell speech, where like with FOMC, what you like to do is I like to use higher time frame. You can use whatever you want. If you just look at the higher time frame, from this 15-minute inside bars, I have an indicator. It turns it gold, turns it whatever color you want. We had that strong move up, 41.50 or 41.75. And then Powell starts saying stuff people didn't like. So we had that inside bar here. So what I like to do is just kind of play the breakout. If we're going to continue up, we're going to continue up. If you're looking at this, what are we doing on this inside bar? We pushed up and then we're just consolidating down. So just push up. We could have pushed up. We could consolidate it down here inside, and then we could have went up again. Just kind of play that inside. And then also down here, at 4110 was a big price of interest. And 4100 is definitely huge. If you actually, I looked at this after the fact. See, it looks like it on ES. Last month's high is what? Last month's high is 4109.25, 4110. So see how that adds up. Strat people would say that's the two up. That's the place to go long. He showed SPY, which actually seemed pretty interesting. I gotta start charting, keeping these on my chart. It's another line, nothing special. You can tell on SPY. Kind of easier for me because I have less lines. If we go back, where did SPY, where are we holding? Pretty much last month's high. If SPX was an inside month, so was ES. So definitely don't really want to short it until we break below. And that's crazy that our high was actually that first one. So, 15-minute inside bar at the bottom. If you're just waiting for a reversal, pop up your higher time frames, especially trading futures. I'm telling you guys, trading futures, higher time frames, go MES, go MNQ, definitely will work out in your favor a lot more. Higher time frame, there's a reversal. Inside bar up, we pop up with that 30-minute. What did the 30-minute look like? A hammer. Play the breakout of the hammer to the upside. Let's see what the 5-minute looked like. Just use all these multiple higher time frames. 5-minute kind of consolidation right here. Broke up. Kind of looking at the 1 minute, you kind of have like a W pattern or a double bottom. There's your W pattern. Where was that high right there? It was actually in the first hour candle high. Came down, hit IB mid, bounced up, overnight mid. Look at that, break above, retest, went. It's just look at these levels. All these levels are hitting, showing a little support, showing a little resistance right here. Yesterday's highs, we broke below, we tested it, we continued down. Right here, we broke above overnight highs, tested it, continued up. Went to last week's POC. This is where I grabbed my long. I didn't catch this long down here. I was scalping it. But to grab some MES to hold for the push end of day, we were able to pop up from, those are actually right here. Saw this nice consolidation here. What I was going to do is kind of keep overnight highs as a stop and kind of, see if we could continue higher. This was pretty bad buying up here. So there's a lot of weak sellers and buyers up here. So I definitely want to watch to see if we could take that out. Kind of, I'm always looking for liquidity grabs. So definitely looking for a push up for the break 41.75 and possibly come down. That was not my play. We hit this downtrend, but right here you can tell 41.50. We wicked up. I stayed in the play, kind of holding yesterday's highs. 41.36. I actually wanted to keep my stop loss at 41.24, which I definitely saw, and I'll show Bookmap a little bit later. And I finish it up with Bookmap. But with 41.24, I kind of noticed shorts covered. So I wanted to, with that, obviously we're going to continue up. If they bought weight on here, if sellers got trapped down there and they had to cover here, 41.24, that just adds the fuel. Yeah, I'd have trader, I'd have to set that up kind of ahead, because when I switch, I don't know why, when I replay and I switch time frames, it all just goes away. So I'll have to set that up and kind of do my 4 squares and have different time frames so I can see, definitely go through plays. End of day, I do tweet and send out my thing, kind of an ES breakdown. I'm definitely going to start doing more videos on my ES breakdown. But here, 41.50, we got long about here. 41.50, you can tell, where did I move my stop up from? Let me actually bring that up. My stops, when I move my stops up, they just, you look for key levels that you want to move up. And we had, so I was looking to trim at 41.60, which was right here. I want my first trim to be 41.60. I got almost sold there, so I moved my stop up. I have a stop at 41.50 and 41.45. So at 41.50, you can tell when we broke above here, there's your resistance. We broke above. I want to see kind of a test, a bounce from here, and then a push up. Old resistance becomes new support. Kind of keep it simple. Trading futures. And overall, we just kept going. I think I got out here when I saw kind of 2 double bars, consolidation, and kind of a sell off right here. So I got out all there. But overall, pretty crazy day. We broke, double tapped at 41.75. There's that wick. Like I said, that long, they wicked it, brought it right back down. But overall, my targets, POCs, are definitely my upwards and downwards targets. You should always pop those up. They're going to act like magnets. Right now, trader, like this right moment. But overall, I don't really, because the Europe session, you'll see the European session, they always seem to make a high and they always seem to make a low. So it's always difficult. I mean, very rarely do they kind of, this one we kind of just sold off. And you can tell, look at 6 o'clock, we pushed up, and then 9:30 we're here. So if you went short here and you woke up here, that. I like to sleep at night, so I don't like to really keep looking at plays. So if I'd swing, I definitely would swing right here. You have that downtrend break. We seem to be holding last month's high, holding this above FOMC. We still have to come down and fill that back in. But as of right now, the trend's up. So there's no really point to short it. Fortunately, I did get in some shorts, but overall, the trend is up. Let's see if we can have a continuation. We got to see if we are able to break above this and accept more buyers. If not, we're just going to come back down in this area, possibly come down even more into this area, and then come down. It's just, if you basically could just go through your whole chart and you could basically box everything up. Where's your consolidation box? You know, higher time period, we can see we finally broke out of this huge consolidation box, and we kind of actually are possibly making a new one up here. You see that in a lot of tickers too. But you know, looking at that, looking at SPY dark pool, you tell where they buy, where are they buying and where are they selling. You know, it seems like through this, they're buying down here. All this consolidation they bought, and then they sold. Actually, I don't know what this one is, so I'll have it labeled. It's very interesting. 3.2 million, 3.2 billion. This is probably where they sold all this accumulation, distributed it right here, and seems pretty interesting. That's where our high was today. So huge level to get over to tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm going to be looking for, and to see if dark pool they haven't been playing this. We've been under $1 billion the past 2 days. So I'm definitely keeping on the watch. Do they have enough fuel down here that they accumulate down here to push up? But this was a very interesting sell. You know, usually you'll see on the kind of these paths that will, you know, you'll see a lot of dark pool here start forming up here. You know, this is good consolidation. It's probably 2 weeks right here. Then we have our sell off, and then you'll see dark pool starting to print higher, you know, 3 billion, 5 billion, 8 billion. And look, we push up. We come down, we actually test it, and then continue up. You know, and then looking at kind of individual tickers today, which has been kind of a challenge lately. It's not really making a lot of sense to me. Like Apple, when Apple seems weak, ES seems strong. Apple's weak, Tesla strong. Semis were weak today, it seemed like, and then they got super strong. So it's kind of just, it's overall, you know, that when I see that, I kind of want to see them all go at one time. You know, Amazon highly weighted, and it just sold off at open. Apple to open. What did Apple do at open today? What did we do? We pushed. So, you know, that's why ES was chopped. You know, you have some tickers pushing, and you have some other tickers that are just not good. That's where I don't look at futures. I start looking at individual tickers and start doing options. I go back and forth between them two. You know, AMD, I would say if semi strong, the market's strong. AMD just seemed overall kind of weak today. Nice push up, nice sell off, nice push up. Still range 86. You know, Amazon sold off. Google's just been on a powerhouse. You know, basically just went up today. Sold off with Powell, and then it went up even higher. So I mean, Google way stronger. You know, Meta. I got a Meta put. I'm getting destroyed on it. I actually sold 1/3 of them today for profit. But overall, Meta. What are we doing here? I mean, we had a nice strong push up, just consolidation. Microsoft AI. This thing, Microsoft's strong. If you look at Microsoft, but then you pop up Apple, you're like, well, why is Microsoft pushing? Apple's not. Or if you look at Microsoft, look at SPY, you know, they're kind of two different complete charts. NVIDIA. So kind of that first half hour, I'm just kind of collecting data, you know, doing my highs, lows, where are we going? Are we making any patterns? What stocks are going? What stocks aren't going? Right here, you know, NVIDIA. Super choppy, actually. I actually wanted to put NVIDIA at open. I just saw we're just making this kind of up channel. And then, you know, if I would have got that put, you know, overall, would have been good. You know, Tesla just looked ugly at open, looked really weak. But then it gained strength and then it got weak again. So it was like, just thinking about that, that's a good day to wait for better setups. Tesla, this looks completely opposite of ES. Sell off, push up. Tesla didn't make a new high a day. It's get triple topped. ES does not look like that. So let's hop over Bookmap, finish up Bookmap. We can walk through it. Make sure it's on. Performance mode. Okay, so let's make it more. So Bookmap, kind of a tool I like to use. You want to, just use it to your advantage. There's a lot of data going on here, a lot of things going on. You just have to use it. Try to find a little edge, a little interesting thing going on. That's how I use it. So if we go back all the way to our chop, here's our chop first hour. Our volume profile. What's this? This is oh, you can't see it. Move it. On the right, there's our volume profile for the first hour. What is this? Just balance. There's, I'm not looking. What's happening? Turn on performance mode again. Let me take it off. But the first hour, what are we doing? We're balanced. Nothing's really happening there. I'll push this back over, line it up. So Bookmap, you can get on TOS. You could also buy it through them. They have a lot more things going on through their service. But what I like to do is kind of just find where liquidity is. Markets, kind of attracted liquidity. Let me try to get this over a little bit more. There we go. Turn performance mode on. So, the green bubbles, red bubbles, I don't really look at them that much. The only thing I kind of look at them, are we on a move up? Are we, having some nice green bubbles at the bottom? Are we having a small red bubble or a small green bubble? That's overall a selling bubble. If it's big, they're still selling down here. Up here, you can tell buyers aren't really buying it that high. So that's how I kind of look at it. This right here, small buying up here. So obviously they're not buying down here. They're going to bring the price back down. But overall, first hour choppy. We had that. What's my trading technique? I like to use supply and demand, but supply and demand is really not the best right now. I just like to use key levels and market profile, Bookmap, and just just find a key level. I'm trying not to do. I went through this is recorded. I went through kind of how I set up my day for ES. You go on my YouTube and you'll see how I set up my days for options. I got my weekly classes, just giving you guys, this is what level I'm looking at, this is what level I'm looking at, and whatnot. I don't use any indicators, so that's all I use. But I just kind of want to stick this to futures and what happened today. But this 410, this was on the board yesterday. Finally, kind of had open, taken out. But very interesting, taken out, huge liquidity taken out, but kind of just stayed sideways, which kind of interesting. Usually, if they take out liquidity, we'll shoot back up or we'll continue to fall. And you'll see that kind of later. Um, but overall, just back and forth, back and forth. I'll let this load. POC, this yellow line, it resets at market open, and so I kind of gauge on, are we having, you can just tell, look at the small drops, small drops, small ups, small ups. So POC is where retail trades the most, the highest spot on the market profile, and we're kind of making new ones. Just overall, just nothing going on. 11 o'clock hit. 11:05. Finally, we broke up. Definitely, I don't have VWAP on my main chart, but I have VWAP here. So I do use VWAP actually indicator. But keep on Bookmap. This is our first. Finally we were able to break VWAP right here. But of course, we hit more liquidity. Came down. 414. Someone came in. Probably a person that went long off the VWAP bounce. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me switch it. Sorry. I have it on my. I'm recording it, so I set it up on my recording. All right, there we go. So what I look for is if we do push away from a price, and price comes in below, I feel like it's someone who went long here, and that's their stop loss. It makes sense, it makes sense. They go long here, and they put their stop loss 2 points down. So that's what I look for, kind of going long. VWAP, we bounced off VWAP. Obviously, bouncing off VWAP, so pretty good indicator to go long. That's their stop. Continue up, kind of just overall continuing up. You can tell the chop, scalps. All I do is wait for chop, breakdown. There's our fake breakdown, which is actually pretty interesting. We had this box here. This is what I kind of say our box is kind of like on the second time frame. Can turn that off. No. So we chopped here, we auctioned here. This is the market auction. We pushed up new market auction. They're auctioning back and forth between 41.30, 41.24, and then we were able to break below right before Powell. So we dipped before Powell. Obviously, we dipped before Powell. What do? They buy the dip because they know the market's going to go up. They already know what's happening when Powell talks because they move the market. We actually broke up, came back down, retested it, and then continued up. But usually when Powell talks, liquidity goes off the board. But that's not what I'm trying to show you. So we push up the liquidity here. Not much going on. I'm just kind of watching prices. What I like to see is kind of where they were before, and if they come in. So right here, 41.50. They were here. Someone's buying, someone's selling here. When we come back to the 41.50, look, once again, someone's buying or someone's selling here. Shorts, stops, take profits, whatever. So 41.50, definitely key level. Where was my stop on my long? 41.50. Where was that break and retest of that long? 41.50. So these are just giving me overall key levels just to look at. But right here, you can tell someone puts their stop right at VWAP. They probably went long here, put their stop at VWAP. Probably got stopped out. What I see is the main thing is that 41.42 looks like someone went short here. So price breaks below and that stays. I like to think that's short stops. But 4100 was the key, kind of the key low, and I want to definitely show that on what I saw. It's right here. We kind of So we had nice liquidity build up 4,100 here. This is just interesting to see. Usually when you see us break a price down, so I get this a little bit better, they don't come right back in like this. So like right here, we broke this price. We weren't able to bounce. You know, right here, we broke this. Not the best example. We bounced, but they didn't come in very strong. So you can tell you bounced here, they came in strong again. So I was like, okay, that's crazy. 4,100. Strong. 4,100. Whoever's at 4,100, man, they're doing something. Able to push the market up 20 points. So definitely watching it. Let's see what happens when we come back down to that 4,100 again. Interesting. They get filled. But guess what? They come in again. They get filled here. They came in. They came in. So it's just, you know, that definitely triggered in my mind of this 4,100 just a special event. And just they caught people who wanted to sell that cycle of emotional selling call. You know, people who want to chase 4,100. So, you know, definitely don't see that. I'm trying to find a better example. Right here, we're able to hit this level. No, that's not a good example either. But I like to see that. I like to see the level being hit right here. Kind of retrace back down and then go through it because there's no more liquidity. See what we did there? We take out the liquidity. We trace back down, and then once we start hitting back into that price, this is where I like to scalp. Push out liquidity. We came back down. Resistance, support. You know, talking about 35 seconds. So definitely that 4,100. No, on the market profile was strange because they kept taking out that liquidity, but they kept coming in. Taking out that liquidity kept coming in. Someone did not want the price to get down below 4,100. So definitely watching that. They took out, you know, to upside, you take out liquidity, take out liquidity. Then we had this. This is where I think the short's covered. So I'm going to use this in the future. All this crazy price action. Then you see, I'm going to stretch this over.